You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled-out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. In today's episode, we're diving into something every lo-fi producer should know: sound design. Whether you're crafting the perfect pad, sculpting the warmth of a bass line, or adding that nostalgic vinyl crackle, sound design is key to creating the cozy, nostalgic vibe lo-fi is known for. Today, we're going to cover essential sound design tips, specifically for lo-fi producers. We'll break it down into three main areas: creating those warm, lush pads, using creative textures and ambient sounds, and how to add imperfections to your mix to give it that vintage lived-in feel. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive in. First up, let's talk about pads. Pads in lo-fi music are the canvas of your track. They set the tone and fill out the harmonic space, making everything feel cohesive and inviting. But how do you create those dreamy, warm pads that fit perfectly in a lo-fi mix? The key to creating lush pads is using soft, warm sounds with little high-end content. You want to avoid sharp or bright tones that can clash with the mellow vibe. Start by selecting a warm synth patch or a sampled instrument like an electric piano. Use low-pass filters to roll off the high frequencies. This helps make the pad sound softer and more distant. And don't forget modulation. Use subtle pitch modulation or detune your oscillators to create that natural, worn-out sound that's perfect for lo-fi. You can even automate the filter cutoff to add movement so the pad evolves throughout your track. If you're looking for plugin recommendations, synths like Serum, Arturia's Analog Lab, or free options like Vital are great for sound design. With just a few tweaks, you can craft those warm, vintage sounding pads that give your tracks depth and atmosphere. Now let's move on to textures and ambient sounds. Lo-fi thrives on creating a sense of place, and one of the best ways to do that is incorporating field recordings and ambient textures. Field recordings are an easy way to bring life to your track. Whether it's the sound of rain, city traffic, or the gentle hum of a fan, these sounds add context and make your track feel more immersive. They're like adding the background scenery in a movie. You don't always notice them there, but they're crucial for creating a mood. To start using textures, you can either record your own sounds or use free sample libraries available online. Layer these sounds subtly under your track, making sure they don't overpower your drums or melodies. You want to make sure the textures complement the music and not overtake it. Here's a quick tip: use a reverb or a low-pass filter on your textures to blend them into the background. This will help them sit more naturally in the mix, adding depth without distracting from the main elements. A great technique is to automate the volume of these sounds, bringing them in and out throughout the track to maintain interest. Finally, let's talk about imperfections. One of the defining characteristics of lo-fi music is its imperfect, nostalgic quality. Vinyl crackle, tape hiss, pitch wobble. These are all sounds that evoke the past and give your track that worn-out vintage feel. If you're wondering how to create these imperfections, there are a few go-to methods. First, vinyl crackle. You can use plugins like Isotope Vinyl or RC20 Retro Color to add subtle crackling noises, simulating the sound of old vinyl record. Pitch wobble, or wow and flutter, can also be achieved using tape emulation plugins, or even by manually automating the pitch in your DAW. Subtle pitch variations mimic the effect of old tape machines that couldn't quite hold a steady pitch, adding to that authentic lo-fi sound. Another trick is to use trusty tape saturation or analog distortion plugins to introduce a bit of grit and warmth. A plugin like Waves J37 or Soundtoys Decapitator can help you achieve that classic tape sound that's central to many lo-fi tracks. Just be sure not to overdo it. Lo-fi is all about subtlety. Before we wrap up today's episode, let's go over a few quick tips that can help improve your sound design skills for lo-fi production. Firstly, don't be afraid to experiment. Try using unconventional sound sources and see how they fit in your mix. Next, use automation creatively. Automating filter sweeps, pitch changes or reverb levels can keep your sounds dynamic and engaging. And lastly, layering is key. Try blending different textures and sounds together to create something new and unique. Remember, the goal in lo-fi is not perfection. Embrace the imperfections, experiment with sound design, and most importantly, have fun with it. Every sound you create should serve the mood of the track, helping to craft that cozy, nostalgic atmosphere. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lo-Fi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.